salt of the earth. You ever hear that phrase and wonder, like, what does that even really mean?
It's one of those sayings, right? It sounds kind of nice, but...
Yeah, but like, what are we actually supposed to be? Salt.
Exactly. So today, we're going to sprinkle a little.
Okay, I see what you did there.
Had to. We're diving into this recent address, Bonded to Jesus Christ, Becoming the Salt of the Earth.
Catchy title.
Right. And that title alone tells us we're not just talking about, like, seasoning our food here.
Definitely deeper meaning. For those who don't know, this was a big deal address.
Huge. We're talking about the October 2024 General Conference, which, for this faith, is...
There's Super Bowl, but for, like, spiritual reflection.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And in that context, using an image like salt of the earth, it makes sense. It's relatable.
Grabs your attention. So instead of just saying, be good people, which, let's be honest,
Good done.
they get into salt. And what's interesting is the speaker points out how important salt used to be.
Oh, absolutely. And not just for flavor either. We take salt for granted now. But think about a world.
No fridges.
Exactly. Salt was essential for preserving food. Like the difference between eating and...
And not.
Right. Plus, it even had a role in some religious ceremonies back in the day. Added to its value.
So it's like saying, be as valuable as salt, be as vital as salt. I love that. And speaking of valuable, you will not believe this description of Portuguese salt harvesting.
Oh, yeah. The Marnotos.
Yes, the Marnotos. They harvest this super pure salt, flour of salt, they call it.
Using these traditional methods, too. It's incredible.
Like, the effort involved, you know? It's not just grabbing any old salt.
And I think that's the connection the speaker's going for, right? Like, we should approach our lives with that
There's
same...
dedication.
Yes. That striving for, I don't want to say purity, but maybe...
Being our best selves.
There you go. Like the Marnotos aim for the most pristine, the most valuable salt. We should be aiming to live our best lives to make a positive impact.
But then there's that whole thing, right? Even salt can lose its saltiness. And the speaker even brings that up, this warning about becoming spiritually stale.
Like, have you ever opened up, like, a spice jar?
Yeah.
And it's been in the back of the cabinet.
Years.
And it's just blah, blah.
Flavor's gone.
Exactly. So how do we avoid becoming that spiritually?
Good question. I mean, life can be kind of deflavoring sometimes, you know?
Right. And that's where the speaker's advice comes in. It's like,
Uh-huh.
okay, if you want to stay salty, so to speak.
Okay, I like where this is going.
He gives us these 4 very specific things we can do, like a recipe almost.
Okay, hit me with this recipe. What's first?
First one, maybe not surprising, given the source.
Faith.
Yes. It's all about nurturing your faith. He talks about regular temple attendance, but it's bigger than that.
Keeping those beliefs alive front and center.
Yes. Like recalibrating your moral compass on the regular.
Yeah.
But then it gets even more interesting because the next ingredient.
Yeah.
This one, I think anyone can grab onto, regardless of beliefs.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me.
It's about taking those beliefs, those values, and putting them into action by strengthening others. Specifically, he focuses on family.
Building that foundation on shared values.
Right, because think about it. Family is often where we first learn.
Right and wrong.
Exactly, how to treat each other. And the speaker's point is, by sharing those values, by living them out within our families, we strengthen those bonds and keep those values alive in ourselves.
Okay, so it's not enough to just believe it. You got to live it in a way that lifts others up.
Exactly.
I like it. Okay, what else is on the staying salty to-do list?
So this one builds on that idea of action. It's about serving in the community. Now, he frames it as accepting callings within the church.
Sure.
But again, it's bigger than that, right?
Finding ways to contribute. Make your little corner of the world a better place.
Exactly. Volunteering, mentoring, even just being a supportive neighbor. It's about looking outward and asking.
What can I do to help?
Yes. Okay, last ingredient. This one feels very 21st century.
Let me guess. Social media.
Close. Technology in general.
Okay, so how does that tie back to being salt of the earth? Help me out here.
Right. It seems counterintuitive, but the speaker's not saying technology is bad, inherently.
It's all about how you use it.
Yes, being intentional. He even talks about how he uses digital tools to stay connected to loved ones far away.
Okay, so not ditching our devices entirely, but choosing how we use them.
Right.
Yeah.
Because the flip side, as he points out, is that mindless scrolling, that constant information overload. It can actually lead to spiritual apathy.
Yeah.
We're so overwhelmed, we lose sight of what truly matters.
We lose our flavor.
Exactly. It's about remembering that real connection, real impact.
It's about being present in the world. It's like sometimes less is more, right? Like you can eat a whole bag of potato chips,
Oh, yeah.
but are you really tasting anything at that point? Or is it just salt overload?
Totally. And it makes me think back to what the speaker said about those Marnotos harvesting that special salt.
They're not trying to collect every grain of salt on Earth.
Right. It's about quality over quantity.
So it's like finding what we're good at, what we're passionate about,
And giving it our all.
not trying to be everything to everyone.
Just like those Marnotos. Dedicated to their craft,
That's how we become the salt of the earth, I think.
I agree. By bringing our own unique flavor, our own unique contribution.
Which is actually a really inspiring thought when you think about it.
It is. It's like we don't have to be perfect to make a difference.
Just got to be genuine.
Exactly. It's the small things done consistently,
Those little daily choices that add up.
that reflect our values.
It's like that saying, be the change you want to see.
Yes.
Except here it's more like, be the flavor.
Ooh, I like that. So as we wrap up this deep dive,
Mm.
what's resonating with you?
Honestly, I think that reminder to be intentional
Mm.
with my faith, my relationships, even just like how I'm using my phone, It's
Yeah.
so easy to just zone out.
Right. And forget what really matters.
I just-
It's a good reminder for all of us, I think, that it's not about these grand gestures, but those small daily choices.
To show up, be present, and
I
guess,
it authentically.
yeah, live authentically, add our own unique flavor to the world.
Love it.
And on that note, we'll leave you to ponder that. What kind of salt are you? Think about it, and until next time.
Happy diving.